Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name's Andrew, or Andy, whichever you prefer. So if you watched my video last week, you'll know that I'm replacing the salamander with the pellet burner. And so far I've got the pellet burner where I want it, but I did leave a hole in the roof. That we sorted out last week and it's turned out pretty good. The inside now I still need to do. That's what I'm planning on doing this week. And I need to do a good job on it because it's going to be visible. But one thing I do need to work out is where these pipes are going to come out from, because I opted not to go out the same hole because it's in the middle and therefore it hogs the space, tight space either side. So if I push it over to one side, I've got a usable space there. But I think I've come up with an answer here because I'm in the driver's side with the door. And if you can see this, there are two glass panels. And if I overlap them, there's a hole. So if I can get that boarded up with a hole in it and get these through there, make sure it's watertight and sealed and can take the heat. Although it's not as hot as a salamander, it does get a little bit warm. So I need to make sure that I bear that in mind. And hopefully by the end of this week, we'll get it all resolved, working and tested. And I can look forward to a warm winter. In the meantime, I've got to go back to the house in the village. And if you're new to my channel and don't know, that other guy is James, my brother. And together we bought that house in the village earlier this year to renovate and hopefully to sell. Now we're over the halfway mark. We've got all the tedious stuff out of the way and hopefully a little bit more this week, granted, but hopefully going forward we'll start to see some big changes and that house will start to transform. So I'm going to head over there now, so I'll see you in a second. Job for this morning is to get those old tiles up off of the floor. Shame to get rid of them. I know a lot of people like those, but they're all damaged and they do have a tendency to be a bit porous. So up they come and down goes a layer of concrete. Those tiles came up pretty easy, but now we need to go down further because we need to have at least 7 centimeters, maybe 10 centimeters of concrete for our base. And that means we're going to have to take up some of this soil. So here we go. Detlev's workout plan, leading to it. This is so comfortable. I can nod off on here really easily, which I think is what I'm going to do, because I'm going to be honest with you, that took about 3 hours. We did really well, got everything out that we needed to, 2 truckloads offloaded up on the land there, and we'll have a fresh start tomorrow. Yesterday was Sunday and doesn't happen all the time, but Christina made a lovely roast dinner, and I don't normally drink, but I did have a few and I'm feeling it this afternoon. really took its toll out on me. There's a guy who owns the goats or the sheep up on the hill 2 months of the year, and we're in the middle of those 2 months now. Leaves them up there with the dogs and they're barking away. I don't hear them too much ordinarily, but last night I was a bit sensitive, and my dogs, because I left the bus door open, were in and out, and given the bus is still on the suspension, is rocking around like a boat. And my eyes are really feeling it today with a lack of sleep, so I'm going to have a good early night tonight, and hopefully tomorrow I'll be up nice and early and full of life, and we'll carry on. In the meantime, I think I am going to spend a little bit more time on here to relax before I go to bed. See you in the morning, or for you, a couple of seconds.
No, Claudia. I'd like you to come now.
No, I can't.
I knew she was one of those restless sleepers who wouldn't stay quiet in her own grave. And explain everything.
The pages in my diary are blank, but I shall take you out again. So that...
Well, it's just balancing in there at the moment, but it seems to be a good enough fit. I can see the light through a couple of areas, but that's all right because I'm using a silicone glue, which is going to go in all the little gaps and give it a nicer finish. But now I'm looking at this from the inside. If I left it like that and just painted this black, it's going to look a little bit rubbish, isn't it? So as I've got another sheet of this and it's only going to go in the skip, I really should make a duplicate of that and make it nice and tidy on the inside. Then I can worry about where that hole is going to go. Get it cut out, glue it all in place, and then we can get the pipes all lined up and hopefully working. Right, got a truck that's ready and waiting. A laser level to guide us, 10 centimeters down from the top there. Quite a lot actually that needs to be removed. I'll see if I can do this in the next hour and a half because it's quite a boring job to do. And one of the last crappy jobs, to be honest with you, before we start moving forward. So I better just get on with it. Now we got that out of the way, I think we'll take these columns down. Yeah. I'm loving the grain on this concrete pour. It looks really nice. Something definitely going forward I want to consider somewhere in my house. Where, I don't know, but it is a nice effect. So we'll come back to this another day. We're going to pour the concrete down on the floor tomorrow, I think, maybe. And obviously we still got to do the steps. And then hopefully once we've done that, we can get rid of all the boards. In the meantime, let's go up on the roof and see how James is getting on. Oh, that looks really good. So you may notice we got 1, 2, 3 columns in the middle there. That's because when we put the metal across, obviously that's quite a wide expanse, close to 5 meters, and we don't want any bounce in here, even though you're not going to be walking on it. It's going to take a little bit of weight with these because they're concrete and they're quite heavy. So we'll get those on and fix everything in place, and I reckon we should be able to get those up this week. Actually, that took up quite a lot of space on that truck, that soil. Definitely took out a bit more than I was expecting. Took a lot longer than I was expecting as well, just because obviously needed to go down to the correct depth, and in some areas it was a lot deeper than I thought. Anyway, that's done. Good soil for my land. Now I'll have that coffee. My arms are like jelly. Back at the bus. I want to try and get these boards in position, and I can't do that until I've gone out and got some expanding foam, the sort that is heat resistant. I've got loads of tins of it, but not the right stuff. So I'm going to go and get that, and hopefully we'll have everything we need to get that all fixed in position and working by the end of the week. I'll do my best anyway. How are you doing this, Andy? I hear you say. I'm making it up as I go along. Obviously, if this was more permanent, then I'll come up with a different solution, and I wouldn't be using wood on either side of this. But it isn't permanent, and therefore I've got to make do with what I can, but obviously not let the bus burn down. So my plan right now, because I can't get the expanding foam, it won't go to the temperatures that I need. I found this. It's quite a wide diameter on it, and I think I might have something a bit smaller than that. The idea now is to put that through the 2 pieces of wood, and then whatever part of this goes through it like that, you can see that there's a gap all the way around it, so none of this will be touching the sides, which means none of it's going onto that wood. And then somehow I've got to work out how to get this, which is fire resistant. It can take up to 1200 degrees, which is double what that's going to be doing. I think I know how I'm going to cut it out, but somehow anyway I've got to get it so that it wraps around the inside of that, keeping this maybe a little bit warm, but it's not going to be too hot, and then by the time it gets to the wood, we'll be safe. Yeah, that's the plan. It is now 5 to 7, and I've got to walk the dogs. I can hear them barking in the background, so give me enough time. I think overnight I'll sleep on it, just work out exactly how I'm going to do it, and then tomorrow after we finish down in the village, I'll come back and yeah, see if we can get somewhere with this. Having fun?
Yeah. Whoopee whoopee.
Right. James is carrying on upstairs. He's already started with the metal framework. He'll get that all in position today. And while he's doing that, I need to continue with the inside. Very clear guide there. Excellent. All in place. Laser level for doing this is perfect. You saw when I was scraping away the soil how it was easy for me to check the height. With these now all spot on, and that's going to make our life a lot easier tomorrow when we pour the concrete, where we can also still use that laser level to make sure there's no high or low points. I know 1 or 2 of you are going to mention that we haven't put down a polythene sheet. Just so you know, James in his previous life was an expert in dealing with such problems with damp and so on. And we've got a solution that we're going to put on top of the concrete afterwards, which is going to give us the best form of protection from any damp. Now, this being an old house as well and stone, you're not going to get rid of it completely. And obviously if it's a new build, there's many different ways of doing it. But we've come up with another solution because, let's face it, there's nothing underneath any of these other tiles. So we're better off putting it on top and keeping it consistent throughout.
Back on the roof.
Well, it's doing really well. Got those metal supports going in now. It's just cementing them in place. And then hopefully once that's done, hopefully tomorrow we can get the concrete panels in place, because we've just found out there's a possibility we're going to get some rain on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. How much? Who knows? But obviously having that hole over there seems a bit of a shame to go through the whole summer. And then the 1 or 2 days of rain we get, we haven't actually protected it, and it all goes down into the garage. So if we can get those panels up ready for the old traditional tiles, that'd be fantastic.
I'm sure we're going to have to do some fine tuning.
Yeah, good. All in place. I've only been up here 20 minutes and I'm dripping with sweat. James has been up here all day. Oh. What can I say? I think it looks pretty good. Got it lined up nicely. As nice as it could possibly look for a tube sticking out the driver's door of a bus, of course. But it's going to work. I did say yesterday that I'll carry on with it today, because I came up with my cunning plan, but I've decided now, as much as I don't like doing that, because I do like to finish things, I'm going to hold off on this until Saturday, because I'm jumping backwards and forwards from the house to here. There's other things that we're doing that aren't in the videos, and this isn't getting the attention it deserves. I want to get it right the first time. So I'm here all weekend, and I can do this in one hit and get it looking good. And I'll pop that into the next video so you can see exactly how it looks. And let's face it, I don't think anyone's sitting on the end of their chairs in anticipation of seeing this fixed and working. But also as well, most people actually get through about 15 minutes of my videos, so they're going to be missing out on what's going on tomorrow, which is the concrete pour in that floor, and then that roof on there. And if we can do both of those things, then we've moved forward quite a lot in this video, and that means the last of the big concrete pours. So obviously it's a big deal for us, and next week we'll be getting on with hopefully some nicer things. Anyway, I'm going to chill out a little bit and send you back up that pipe. See you in the morning. Here we go. That took a long time, but it was more than worth it, and it's really flat. So happy with how that's turned out. Now, I'm not teaching anyone how to do anything, but I do just want to show you this because this is just how I've been doing it today. As you know, we have the laser level, and I'm really hoping you can see the green line along here. That's what I've been using as my guide all the way along. And so far, looking at what we've done, it worked really well. Really pleased with that. Sigmund laser level.
Over it. This sits on it like that. That's what I thought we were doing. That's it.
Oh, you know what? I'm really looking forward to Monday. We're going to get some rain. It looks like we're actually going to get a storm. Oh, that didn't go to plan. Ah, well, can't be bothered to do this again. Storm, thunder and lightning. And let's face it, it's been quite a while, so we do need the rain. And I think from within that bus as well, it's going to be great. Stop me in my tracks, if nothing else. Settle down, relax, and I think I'm going to spend a bit of time planning what I'm going to be doing to this house. Queen, as we know, passed away last couple of days, sadly. And maybe this is a good thing to do. Doesn't require too much of my attention. And just reflect a little bit. So we've done the roof, and we'll come back to that after the rain passes, and hopefully after it passes, we'll get it all back in place properly this time, fixed down, and get those old tiles on it. But one more use with that cement mixer, and that's for the steps going down and going up to the mezzanine. And then I can bring it back here for a well-deserved rest, a service, clean up, get it all ready and prepared for when I start that well and finish that well, doing the stone wall around it. Really looking forward to that and ticking it off. Next week is another week. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great weekend, a great week. And as always, stay happy and of course positive. I will be. Take care. Bye-bye.